Okay, guys. Hey, how are you all doing today? I'm a little bit late because I'm trying to work out some technical kinks. A lot of this going live stuff is a little bit new to me, and I want to make sure we take advantage of everything. Right now, I'm trying to go live in YouTube and on Facebook. So anybody that is on or joining in, please let me know in the comments that you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or say we can hear you. That way I know what's going on before I get started with anything. Funny because the YouTube camera is backwards from the Facebook camera, which is interesting. Anyway, just want to come to you guys today and go over a couple of things. One thing that I wanted to go over was a few things that I think new Medicare agents, maybe not new insurance agents, but agents who are new to the Medicare space, a few mistakes that they make, maybe not even mistakes, but just things that they don't that they don't notice right away, or that they should be doing, earlier rather than later. One of the first things that that comes to mind is, and this is kind of like when you get up and going. These are not the things like losing sales to objections. That's something in everything. These are more Medicare specific. So one of the first things I can think of is when people start selling Medicare supplements. And I remember it's the same way for me. You get really excited at the idea of someone buying the MedSup or the Medicare Advantage plan. You're like, wow, I did it. I sold one. And you're thinking about the renewal. You're thinking about all these different things. And you kind of lose track of the fact that you're still in a sales meeting and that you offer more than just that Medicare supplement or that Medicare Advantage plan. And then you also are a little bit nervous to offer something else because of the idea that maybe, maybe these people, this is as good as it gets. They're going to buy that supplement. And so you kind of second guess yourself. You also start to profile this person, thinking, oh, they don't have enough money to buy anything else. Or, oh, they're too wealthy and they're too smart to buy anything else, which is something that I've actually heard agents say before. But you don't need to do that. You don't profile. Once they have made the decision to buy the MedSup, or you feel like they're going to, don't get discouraged and discouraged away from offering the hospital indemnity plan, the cancer coverage, the dental, vision, and hearing. Especially the dental, vision, and hearing is a huge add-on. We have a very, very high attachment rate with the dental, vision, and hearing, especially to like turning 65 Medicare customers. So don't get discouraged from that. One analogy that I heard that I wanted to share was when you're in a restaurant, because some people think if they offer that extra thing, these people will almost get appalled or they'll get annoyed with you, things like that. So one analogy that I heard one time was, if you are at a restaurant and you finished eating and the server puts down a dessert menu on the table, do you ever get mad or annoyed with them? I mean, maybe some of you do, but you guys are all, jerks if you do, because I don't get mad whether I want the dessert or not. I can tell you one thing. First of all, they're probably not going to sell me the dessert unless they put it out there. Second of all, I don't get mad at them. If I'm stuffed, I'm stuffed. Say, no, thank you very much. I'm just not hungry enough. I'm really full now. So you don't get mad at them. So that's the first, thing that I've noticed. I thought that was a really good analogy, because when you're selling the MedSup, if you throw dental, vision, and hearing out there and they don't want it and they hate the idea of dental, vision, and hearing, they're not going to get mad at you. And if they do, that's 1 in a million. I promise you, you'll sell a lot more dental plans than you will make mad people who don't want the dental plan. And the cancer coverage is just the next portion of that, So also, this comes right into part of the sales process, asking for referrals. You get nervous of asking for the referral. But the thing is, if you're dealing with somebody turning 65, they probably know somebody turning 65. I mean, if you're 30 years old, you know a lot of 30-year-olds. If you're 40 years old, you know a lot of 40-year-olds. If you're 65, you know a lot of 65-year-olds. You know a lot of 70-year-olds. You know a lot of 60-year-olds. So you are going to know, they're going to know people who are right there in your target market. I've had some people say that they firmly ask for referrals, as in they say, they kind of make it almost sound like, all right, you got to give me these referrals. I don't really do that, but I do put the paper out there, and I have a piece of paper that, has something they can send back to me, mail back to me, but I try to get them to do it beforehand. So in office meetings, if I have them coming to my office, I put this piece of paper down and say this, or, you can refer people. And then I go to my supply room to get some stuff to give them. And when I'm going to get that, normally I come back and they've put down some people to refer, just because they didn't have anything else to do. So they thought about people. I see them looking it up in their phone. But you can do the same thing if you're in the house with them. If you're in the house, go tell them you got to go get something out of your trunk or something, or say, put it down in front of them and then finish up your paperwork. And maybe while you're sitting there finishing up paperwork, they'll write down somebody, or they'll think of somebody. You'd be surprised how many great leads, great referrals you got. I had one the other day. This was an interesting one. I asked a lady that she's an old customer, and I rewrote her MedSup from she was from Cigna F to Plan G with Puritan, I think. And she, we got it down about $40 a month or something like that. And I asked her if she had any kids, because she was like 82. And she said, or she might've been 85 even, but she did have, she'd had to have been like 85 to make this make sense. But, but anyway, she had a 64-year-old daughter, and she said, yeah, my daughter, I said, oh, she's 64. When is she turning 65? Coincidentally, she's turning 65 in January, and her husband is also turning 65 in April. So I called these guys up. They're very interested. I sent them a bunch of information, ended up going ahead and getting her daughter set up on a MedSup. And now I put an appointment on my calendar to call when we're 6 months out from her husband. So those referrals can be killer. Had a guy the other day that wrote down 3 referrals in a meeting to send me. And out of those 3 referrals, I've got meetings set up with 2 of them. One of them had already turned 65, but he's still open enrollment. He had gotten set up with a Physicians Mutual MedSup. So I'm going to save him from the depths of despair there. And then also the other one was turning 65, hadn't set up yet. She actually said she was thinking about calling me anyway, but I went ahead and got it. Never count your chickens before they hatch or whatever. So there's a lot of times, like in somebody that runs a really good local market, that they don't reach out to the turning 65s in the local market because they have such a high number of them that are calling in anyway. But some of those people who were going to come to you already by referral end up not. So another mistake that people make when they first get into Medicare is every time you talk to somebody turning 65, find out how old their spouse is, which is one of the big reasons I think a lot of these companies are offering this household discount on a roommate basis. They find out that spouse. So say she's I started doing this when I first got in the business. This is a mistake I didn't make, but I don't want you to make it either. When you're getting the birthday of that spouse, let's say she's turning 65 4 years from now. Don't ever think that they're going to call you just because you wrote their husband, because you never know. I mean, households are very different. Some households have the man handles his business and the woman handles her business. Some the man handles it all. Some the woman handles it all. Sometimes in that meantime, the husband passes away and the woman's handling it herself. Different scenarios, So always put that birthday on your calendar what I do is I put it about 5 to 6 months out from the 65th birthday, and I go ahead and call them right then. And I'll close those at a very high percentage because I already have a policy in that household, at least one. So, don't do that. Don't lose future sales because you think, oh, that's 5 years down the road. 5 years flies by like that. So don't Don't ever do that. Put those people on your calendar. I use iCal on my iPhone and my MacBook, and I have it all just, revolving, and I back it up to Google Calendar as well. Um, so that's another thing. So other mistakes that people make is probably going to be just, and I think I went over this the other day, but having a good day and quitting early in the day. They quit stuffing their pipeline when um, when they're harvesting. If I'm a farmer and I live in a climate where I can prosper year round, I'm going to have multiple fields always, ideally multiple fields always producing a crop so I can, continue to harvest year round. What a lot of people do is they lay all these seeds and they harvest, and at the end of it, they're dry and they have nothing going on. So, what I would say is no matter what your methods are, if you're running Facebook ads, for instance, never shut them off. It's okay to scale them back and focus, but never shut them off. You don't ever want to not be in the back of your target market's head. Always have something going on. If you're cold calling, never stop cold calling. It doesn't matter if I wrote 16 med sups before 11 a.m. this morning. Why in the world would I stop cold calling this afternoon? Maybe take a early Friday, if you've had a great month, but don't take an early Monday because you had a great morning. That's another one. There are so many mistakes, and I had them all laid out and I left them at home this morning, but those are some big ones. And I think those are very, very important. And so the way that I want to start making Medicare great for you and great for the beneficiary is, what I'm seeing lately is just a flood of new Medicare agents. And a lot of this is just the gold rush. It's everybody knows that baby boomers are more and more, by the day, turning 65 than were yesterday. And that is not even scheduled to level off, not drop off like a cliff, but level off until 2025. So we have this huge population shift. And right now we are in the land grab. Everybody needs to be grabbing up their share. Don't take time off now. Grab. You can take time off years down the road when it starts to level off, but you need to be grabbing up your share of it so you have a strong foothold in the industry. But I'm seeing so many agents come in, and it's because of the recruiting. It's because of the word is getting out that it's a great place to be. But the big important factor here, I think, is that agents need to be well trained, and agents need to be very, very conscientious of doing the right thing for the customer. Because first of all, your prosperity will depend on doing the right thing for the customer. People who are going out and trying to rip somebody off never get, a really good, long prospering business. They might get away with ripping a few people off here and there, but they don't develop the referral flow and the long-term, prosperity from the industry that somebody who goes out and does the right thing by each individual person. So I want to continue to train you on how to do the best for yourself and the beneficiary going forward so that we can keep Medicare great, make Medicare great again. I don't know, I'm sure somebody's criticized me about saying make Medicare great again. It's been great for a while, but I want to keep it great for the agent and the beneficiary. I want to continue to give you tips on how to not only sell, but I want to create an environment that allows everyone to share good information. I'll be keeping a really close eye on information shared. And if I don't know if something's accurate, I might flag it now to make sure, with some other people that are in the group that are experienced, say, hey, does this sound right to you? Because we want to keep misinformation out. We do have a lot of young agents in the group who are very impressionable, and they might hear something and run with it, and it might be right, and that might screw up somebody's Medicare, and it might screw up their chances because it might, end up in an errors and omissions case for them, or a Section A, or it might end up, just costing them sales, or getting in trouble with the carriers, or screwing up somebody's, Medicare out there. So we want to make sure we're keeping good information. But I really love the fact that Medicare Coach is to me, it seems to be the most free flowing place on the internet for Medicare specific insurance information right now. I mean, the activity we're getting lately from people when we post a question or we post a funny thing that's going on, or just random information, new information, the people that are sharing out there, we're getting a lot of great activity, and I think that everybody's benefiting from it. So, guys, keep that up. It's making me really happy, and I know it makes so many people in the group happy. And I get messages all the time from people that say they sold something else because of the group. They avoided, a problem because of the group. They learned more opportunities for sales in the future because of the group. And I'll be honest with you, I'm the coach, but I learn a lot from the group myself. I learn a lot, especially on the Medicare Advantage side. I learn a lot about it, and I'm just really enjoying the group. So, anybody that has any feedback, anybody that has anything they want to add to the list of mistakes that young agents make, and make it more Medicare specific, please put them in the comments and let me know. And I will be posting this information on YouTube and Facebook to continue to be able to view for people who weren't able to make it 11:30. Sorry I was late again. Next time I'm going to try to have one of those cool Cody Askin style secure agent mentor waiting screens, because that makes it look way more professional. That's actually what slowed me down today. I was trying to figure that out. So I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for joining in.